Blessings, blessings, blessings. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Welcome back to So I Came Across This Post, the podcast where we take snippets of online content and turn it into whole think pieces. I am your host, Charlie, the self-proclaimed ambassador of shamelessly embracing and living your truth. I am so grateful to be here, and I am so happy that you are here. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I pray that you are well. Wherever you are in this moment, in this space, I'm sending you so much love. If you are not feeling too well, I pray that you are finding peace in that discomfort, in the sense that you are able to accept what is in this moment. And I pray that you know that all is well and you are love, and I love you, and I'm thinking of you in this moment, and I'm sending you all some love-filled energy. I give thanks for you always and always. You are absolutely enough in this moment, and in every single moment. You are perfect in your beingness, and so I send love to you. Another episode. How exciting. I want to say this. I mean, let's go off script for a second. Like, doing what you love and doing what you enjoy really does, like, pour into you and give you this energy that, like, you can get from nowhere else. I don't know how else to explain that. I pray that you all have something creative that you get to do and that you enjoy and that you create space for, you carve out space for. With that being said, before we get into this episode, I do want to do some housekeeping things or just like some announcements. So first off, we do cite our sources for anything I ever discuss on any of these episodes, and specifically on this episode today. You can find the links, you can find the information on our show notes on our website at soicameacrossthispost.com. It is under our episodes tab. When you go to the episodes tab, you can just choose what episode it is, and all the information will be there. You'll get the summary of the episode, you will get the links, any extra additional resources, everything will be there that you need in order to follow up or follow through on whatever I said. So there's that. We cite our sources. Secondly, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the podcast, whether that's the audio version that you are into or the video version over on YouTube, or both. I really do want to I would greatly appreciate it, and I really do want to encourage you to subscribe. We are available on most podcasting platforms, and if we are not on a podcasting platform in which you prefer, which is your fave, please let me know, because I'm trying to be where you at. So if you are on a platform that I'm not yet on, or if you know about a platform that you like, yo, see, you're not there, let me know. Let me know so we can be there, okay? Please continue to tune in, of course, and subscribe, rate the podcast, leave feedback, share it with your people. If you share it on your stories, please tag me so I can send you some love back, and I will so appreciate it. I promise. I'm just really grateful to be here. That's just like the foundation of it all. Yeah, so your interaction with the podcast, just putting it up there, putting it out front, right? Like, I'm asking for a reason, because your interaction with the podcast does allow it to become visible to more people. And hopefully we can all agree that more people need to know that I exist, that this podcast exists, that this family exists, that we exist. And we're talking about things. And yeah, we're talking about things that we find on the internet, but like, I think we're making it purposeful. I think that we're doing it with some intention. I think that we're also making it fun. And so as we all engage, we're going to create this space together. It just is what it is. Like, yeah, I have the initial idea, but this is our podcast with my opinions, as I say on TikTok. But we're in this together, and I do believe that anytime you create something, when you allow other people to get feedback and all that, we start creating together. And there's just something beautiful about that. that we're going to build this. Like, yeah, it's my vision. It's a vision I have, but like, it doesn't have to stop there. So yes, please do share. Please do leave your comments. Please do leave your feedback. All of that matters and help us get seen by more people. And yep. Finally, this is the last announcement. We do have a newsletter. On top of everything else, we got a newsletter, people. And I think that the newsletter is so important because it also is going to keep us all updated about, first of all, you'll see some behind the scenes stuff. We'll also talk about things that didn't make it on the podcast, but that I still want to give commentary on. Also, there's a segment of a podcast where I do conversations with people in person. And so when I'm traveling, I'm going to be like hitting people up that's from other states and doing these conversations with them. And if you're someone who might be interested in those conversations, once you start hearing about them or once they start showing up on a podcast, and if you're someone who's interested in that, then when I'm in your city or in your state, or even if you want to be like, yo, come through, you know, I can let y'all know and keep y'all posted through the newsletter. So, yeah. So the newsletter is available. We are on the Substack platform. So you can go to Substack and search us. Also, you can just go to our website, soicameacrossthispost.com, and subscribe through the website. So you got options. I got your back. And yep. There's that. Okay. So as you all know, I just mentioned it a second ago too, the podcast is available in not only audio, but also YouTube. So you may be listening to us on audio. What's up? I appreciate that. However, if you want to see the visual and you want to see like any videos I'm talking about, it will be actually in the video. I will show the actual video in the video. For those who are on audio, I would try to describe it as much as possible. And, of course, the link to the video will be on the show notes page. So, options, choices. Now, with that being said, first of all, thank y'all for sitting through that. Thank you for your patience as I do the announcements. I want to call it something else. It's not giving, but we'll go with that for now. But I want to call it something else. But those are the announcements or the housekeeping to start with. And so, like, we're going to get into this content. I got notes here because I want to stay on track. And I already did the work. Hello. Most of it, anyway. So, every episode, I try to choose posts that I think will flow well together. And through choosing these posts that flow well together, I try to come up with a post, you know, so we could create a theme. I feel like this episode and the choices I've made with these posts, in my opinion, they're a bit lighthearted. You know, they're lighthearted, they're fun, they're silly, whatever. I don't know about silly, but they're lighthearted. And they focus on our right to choose, be, do, like, it is what it is. I think, yeah, it just is what it is. And so it focuses on our right to choose, be, and do in ways that feel aligned for us as individuals. And so that's pretty much what you can expect. Because it's so lighthearted, there's not much to say about it besides let's talk about it. Okay, so this first piece of content that we're going to do, or this first piece of content that we're going to look at, that we're going to review, that we're going to talk about, is basically, it was a post I saw on Twitter. It's from Axe Aubrey. It's Axe_Aubrey. And basically, someone had posted, I guess, wherever they sent it. Someone had posted, it's a 2-part screenshot post, and basically the title of it was an acronym. Let me see if I put it here. No, let me pull it up. Okay, so this first post is a 2-part screenshot of a question or inquiry that someone sent in, and Axe_Aubrey is the one that posted it. And when Axe_Aubrey posted it, their caption of this 2-part post was, oh hell no, I hope she never responds. So let's read what this young man or this person wrote inside. And I say young man because it says I 34M, 34 male. So let's do it. First of all, when I read the post, right, it starts off with AITA. And I was like, I had to Google, like, what is AITA? So apparently it's, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole? So they basically asking, am I the asshole? So here we go. Am I the asshole for being honest with my girlfriend when she asked a question about the birthday cake she made me? Question mark. It says, I, 34 male, had a birthday just yesterday. And my girlfriend, 36 female, offered to bake me a cake. I told her that I would prefer a chocolate cake, parentheses, devil's food, with chocolate icing and nothing fancy. She is usually a great baker, and I guess she thought that wasn't sophisticated enough or something. She baked me a chocolate cake with vanilla icing between the 2 layers of cake, then surrounding in chocolate frosting. The cake was fine, but I was disappointed because it was not what I wanted. She must have noticed and asked me if I was disappointed, so I was honest with her. Yes, I was disappointed. It wasn't the cake I asked for. I said, if I wanted vanilla in a cake, I would have asked for vanilla in the cake. I didn't make a scene. I didn't pout. I even ate half of a slice, the chocolate part. She got upset with me and said, but I've made vanilla cake before and you liked it. I pointed out that I don't mind vanilla icing, but it's not what I wanted for my birthday. Her feelings were hurt, and she even pulled a, I'm not going to make you any cake next year, which I replied with, I will order my own and get my money back if they don't do it like I want it. Hold on. I have read this before, and then like earlier I read parts of it just so I can do the notes, but like, listen, this is my level of response, okay? Like, I will get my own cake. And if they don't do it the way I like it, I will address them appropriately. Okay. Her feelings were hurt, and she even pulled a, I'm not going to make you a cake next year, which I replied, I will order my own and get my money back if they don't do it like I want it. Apparently that was the last straw. She asked me to leave. Later text me that I embarrassed her in front of her kids, and now she won't reply to my message. I think birthdays are important things, and I feel like I was honest with her when she asked me. I didn't want to lie about it. My friend told me I should have been grateful that she made me a cake at all, especially one that I've eaten and liked in the past. Maybe I overreacted a bit, though I don't feel like I did, and I hope to get a second opinion. Am I the asshole here? So that was the post, y'all. Oh, woo! An old person, the person X_Arbery is like, oh hell no, I hope she never responds. So after reading this, I'm like, whoa. So here is my point of view and thoughts from what we know due to, like, you know, what he submitted in his inquiry. And so I took notes, and I don't want to miss them. So we gonna look at my notes as well as I'm gonna give extra commentary. So first of all, I want to say this. To his question regarding whether or not he overreacted, this is how I feel about that. If you don't feel like you overreacted, that's a sign for you. That's it. I am really big on people being their own moral barometers. I really do believe that you have to decide what is correct for you, what is okay for you, because this life thing is messy business, okay? And affects each of us differently. growing up, I used to tell people, like, don't do what I do, right? Like, don't do what I'm doing, because I had realized that some things I could get away with, other people couldn't. And so you out here following me and I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing and there's no real consequences, or people slap me on my hand and then you go do it and you get in all this trouble. I'm like, this ain't your ministry. Okay? Like, you ain't got the favor to be doing that. So I really do believe that, like, people they gotta know for themselves what is correct. Because what is correct for you may not be correct for me. So I'm definitely on team, you have to check with yourself. What may have me feeling bad, or what may have me feeling some sort of way, may have you shrugging your shoulders. You may not even care. You'll be like, why is that even an issue? So there's that. That's like first off. So I do believe you need to be your own moral barometer, and he needs to decide for himself whether or not he overreacted. Apparently, he did not overreact. Despite what everybody else is telling him, despite what his friend thinks, he did not overreact. According to his soul and according to whatever values he got going on inside. They didn't activate, so apparently he did not betray himself by his response. At least that's my opinion about that. Next thing. I have a thing about people asking you what you want and then giving you what they want to give you. Like, that does not sit well with me ever. Like, I'm like, what? And then they tell you to be grateful. Huh? Maybe I will be grateful, but that ain't for you to decide. Because, like, when people do what they want to do, despite you being clear on what your needs are, and then they tell you, like, I'm helping you, I told you what I needed. You could have given me that, and you didn't. So are you trying to be helpful? Why should I be grateful when you just created a new issue for me? Because now I was waiting for my cake. I didn't get my cake. Now I gotta go and buy a cake. What? I could have just brought my own cake. So this whole thing about, like, oh, be grateful for what you get, like, no, we don't have to be. I'm just being straight up, and I'm someone who is always very grateful for everything, I think, for the most part. But at the same time, that's not up to you. I'm grateful because I'm just grateful for that moment of experience. Even if I'm not going to eat the cake, I might be grateful to have had the experience to know, like, you know what? This is not okay. I'm grateful that I recognize that you're not the one. Like, that might be what I'm grateful for. Not this cake, but something else I might be grateful for. This experience, but not necessarily the cake. So, no, absolutely not. Like, you're going to ask somebody what they want and you're going to give them what you want to give them and then tell them that they the problem? What? I don't know. I ain't really feeling that. But maybe there's more to the story that I'm missing. But no, ma'am. So that's my opinion on that. On the other hand, I personally think that most, if not all, of our choices that we make are self-focused. Like, I am a big believer that everybody's doing what serves them. At the core of it, I think it's always about our needs being met. It doesn't matter what, like, it could be like, I want you to be happy with me, so I'm doing this for you. I want to see you excited, so I'm doing this. Because it makes me feel good to do this for you. So I kind of think, this is my belief. It don't make it right. It don't make it true. But I believe, and I don't really hold on too tight to it because I already noticed it and I'm like, it's not that big deal to me. But I always do believe that people are doing what is in their best interest. Despite what they say. That's just my opinion. Y'all can tell me about myself in the comments. And it is what it is. Maybe your perspective may sway me. I don't know. We can see. It's worth a try. And I'm not saying that your goal is to persuade me, because no. But I'm saying, like, maybe my mind will change when someone else gives me a different perspective that, you know, that in my reality makes sense. But if not, in my reality, people are self-serving. They are always self-focused. And this is not a negative thing. This is not a bad thing. It's just what it is. It's not negative. It's not good. It's not bad. It's nothing. It just is. But when you ask someone what they want and give them something else, like, bruh, why? Huh? What was the point then? So now clearly, I'm sure that this post does not paint a full picture of their relationship, right? This is just one situation, one scenario in the bigger picture, or one scenario in however many months, years, days they've been together. So whatever, like this is so small compared to the big picture. But it states that she said that he embarrassed her in front of her kids. Now, from his perspective of the events, right, the way he conveyed them in the post, it appears that he did not embarrass her. What does appear to have happened is that she felt embarrassed in front of her kids. She felt embarrassed. So that's something for her to process, in my opinion, and to then discuss with him maybe about like what was coming up for her, if that's what she chooses to do. Or just be with it with herself. That's either way, it's a her thing to process and figure out, and then give him more specific details on how that affected her and why. You know, what it triggered for her, what it activated for her, what it brought up for her, like whatever. That's up to her. She doesn't have to do any of that. Either way, it sounds like his response or reaction activated something in her. It woke it up. Tis is life. Tis is life. That's why. Side note, I love relationships. I think relationships are one of the best and most beautiful gifts it can give us, no matter what kind of relationship it is. Because when I tell y'all, I have met so many versions of myself. I've learned so much about myself. I have remembered my true essence and come home to myself because of relationships, because they woke something up, because they reminded me of my truth, because they somehow broke my heart at some point. Like, they helped me shatter illusions of who I said I was or who I thought I was, or helped me realize that I was like self-censoring or trying to people please. Like, they really taught me things about myself, or that like I wasn't being so authentic as I thought I was, like, or like I wasn't kind to myself, or you know, like they mirrored so much for me. They're such beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gifts that I cherish relationships. I think it's so important to be with the experience while it's there. Nipsey Hussle said, we don't own people, we get to experience them. And I thought that for me, that is such the richness of life and relationships. And so, yeah, this is life. So in my opinion, I personally don't see anything wrong with what he did, right? We can't dictate to people. I don't believe that we can dictate to people how they should respond to things. She offered to bake him a cake. He said the kind of cake he would like, and she baked something else. He asked for chocolate cake, devil's food. She made chocolate cake with vanilla ice in between the two layers of cake surrounding chocolate frosting. Whoa. Whoa. And that's just not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. Then she asked whether he was disappointed. And he was honest and said, yes, I am disappointed. It wasn't the cake I asked for. Listen, I appreciate honesty, okay? I rather just know and deal with the core of the issue, but this ain't about me, right? This ain't about me. This is for her. This is her thing. That's their thing. I personally think honesty is the way, right? Like, cause we can talk through some truth, right? But if you can't be vulnerable enough to be like, nah, I'm not feeling this. Yes, somebody could have ate it and just act like nothing happened, never had a conversation about it. But then what? It probably would have happened again. And then it would have happened again. And then it would have happened again. Old girl already said you ate vanilla cake before. Now, what if he ate vanilla cake being nice? Now that he ate vanilla cake being nice, he got to eat it every time? It's his birthday. He don't want that. And see, now, so I didn't even write that down. But now I'm wondering, like, had he just ate the cake, would he have been expected to compromise every time? Like, would that have become a rule in their relationship? And I'm probably stretching this, but I'm just curious. Because even his friend said the same thing. Like, you ate the cake before. And it's like, why everybody talking about what happened in the past? That was an old version of him. We might not. He just had a birthday. He might be a whole new person. He just had a birthday. He probably shedded a dozen identities he had. Yesterday person ate vanilla frosting. Today person don't eat vanilla frosting. Like, why y'all bringing up old stuff? So it's like, I don't know. That just came to my soul. You know, I had to hold on. So I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Please let me know what y'all think in the comments. We need to talk about this. Perspectives, okay? I feel like we can learn from each other. Please tell me what y'all think about this. Tell me what y'all think. Now, generally from my perspective, she did what she wanted to do. He wasn't pleased. He not only expressed his displeasure by the way he ate the cake, but then he went on to tell her verbally that he was disappointed. And now her feelings are hurt. Yeah, I heard that. And now her feelings are hurt. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe he could have done things differently. But that doesn't necessarily make it wrong. One thing I learned about myself is that I always think that something could have been done differently. I always find other ways that something could be done, even in my own behavior. But I remember one time, let me tell on myself. Let me come here. Let me tell on myself. So one time, right, I was dating this guy, and you know, I had figured out, you know, because I listen to people, I pay attention to what you're saying, and I hear people's stories, and I'm like, oh, he has a habit of avoiding breakups. He just disappears. He disappears. So now that I'm saying that, I'm like, girl, whatever. And again, but I think even during this time, I was still that person that like, I just enjoyed experiences. I wasn't really tripping. Not that it won't hurt, but like I wasn't really tripping. I like to have experiences. Like I'm not about to not have an experience just because I'm afraid of like how it's gonna end. So whatever. So I'm dating this guy or whatever, and I'm listening to him tell me about his exes or whatever, about how relationships end. And eventually I'm like, yo, can you give me your word that like if you want to end things, if things are ending, that you won't just ghost, like you'll actually say it, like you'll tell me straight up. And he was like, yeah. Boom. Time passes, whatever. So we end up like taking a weekend apart, and then like I didn't hear from him the whole weekend or whatever. And then like I ended up, I don't know if I hit him up or whatever, and I was like, I think eventually I was like, I'm not gonna stay in limbo, like let me know what's going on or whatever. And then he was just like, he ends up calling me during work, and he ended up letting me know during work that he's decided, like, you know, he want to part different ways. And then I remember like saying to him, like, why would you tell me while I'm at work, right? Like, just childish. Like, why would you tell me this while I'm at work? And I wasn't angry. I was very like, just why would you tell me at work? Like, how am I supposed to process this? And then like something in my spirit woke me up, right? Woke my ego, tapped my ego. Like, ma'am. You asked this man to not ghost. You asked him to tell you when he knew. He knows, and he's telling you. Now you want to tell him what time he can tell you? Like, now you move the goalpost. Now that I'm thinking about this, what the fuck? But that relationship did teach me that, like, it's always going to be something, right? Like, I'm always going to find something wrong, right? And so it taught me that, like, let it go. Like, you are really grabbing at straws right now. Now you got an issue because this man told you while you at work. It don't matter. Now you know. Now you know. Move the fuck on. Leave the man alone. Like, now you know. He told you, and now you know. And so just like that, right? Like, right in that moment, like after I had that moment where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, once I got back my awareness, I was like, what are you doing, girl? Like, you are really? And so that was that, right? That happened. But it was just like, from there on, I realized that about myself. Like, girl, you always gonna think something can be done differently. Even my own actions. But it is what it is. It already happened. That's what happened. Deal with what actually happened. Forget that it could have been done differently. It should have been done differently. It wasn't. This is what you got. What are you gonna do with what you got? And so this is why I love relationships, because they teach you some shit. They really do shine a light on your own shit. Like, not you asking this man not to go. He does it, right? He's dealing with, even if he's uncomfortable with breakups, like, he's doing it. And now you want to tell this man about the time of day that is wrong? Like, girl, if you don't go take a nap somewhere and calm down and let go of that attachment, let that ego pain go, get out of here. But yeah, that was a good one though. That whole experience was like amazing. So, but yeah. So basically, yes, he could have think not me trying to come back, but basically, yes, he could have done things differently, but it was what it was. It happened. It don't matter if he could have done things differently. What he said was what he meant. How he ate that cake was how he felt in that moment. So yes, he could have done things differently, but things weren't differently. They were what they were. Next issue. So yeah, and I think that like him being at peace with how he responded says so much. I don't think that there's any more else to say. Like, you're at peace with it. And that's a sign for me that, at least my belief, right? When I feel like people are at peace and not moved by what happens outside of them, that they are at least at peace with themselves. That they're honoring their own needs, that they're honoring whatever it is that they need to in that moment. Like, they're in alignment with their soul. They're not at a, there's no dissonance there. So it is what it is. And now I want to talk about, so the person, the Aubrey, let me go back to her name. What? Give me a pause. Let me pull it up. Not me losing a post. All right, y'all. So Aubrey goes into the comments. X_Aubrey goes into the comments. And so when Aubrey goes into the comments, Aubrey writes, y'all, he literally ate around the vanilla icing. Icing he has eaten before. Icing he had no problems with before, like a effing child. Sure, she could have made 100% chocolate cake, but how childish and petty he was about a cake that took effort and time to create just for him. And my reaction to that is like, what the fuck? Listen, I may love Red Lobsters, okay? I love Red Lobster. But if you ask me what I want to eat, and I say I would like to eat Chinese food, and you bring me Red Lobster, I too may be disappointed. I have my taste buds ready for Chinese food. Hello? And because I trusted that you were coming through with the Chinese food, I'm going to be disappointed. And then I'm sure you're probably telling me to be grateful. But that's not what I asked for. If I wanted Red Lobster, I would have said that. Why would you bring me Chinese food? And just because it got shrimp in it don't mean that still ain't Red Lobster. So I personally don't think it's childish. And honestly, how would we even know if it's childish unless we can feel the energy in which it's being done? So just because the expression is one thing, right, it may appear, oh, that's childish, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the energy. You know, I know people who do nice things, let's quote that, nice things, with the intention to butter you up for some fuck shit. So doing actions in and of themselves is cool, but the energy behind it is very important. So even though she may think that he was eating around the cake and so it's childish, he was disappointed. That's not what he asked for. So, and even if it was childish, it's his birthday. Do you, boo? And he did speak up. He spoke up. He said he was honest. So either way, it is what it is. So I want us to go into these comments too, because I'm going to read some more comments. And the reason why I want to read more comments is because, as I said earlier about moral barometers, I do believe that you have to decide for yourself whether or not you're the a-hole, whether or not you were wrong, quote unquote wrong, or your actions were incorrect and for the circumstances. I think that you have to be the one to decide this. And I love the comment section because this is a great reflection of reality, where it's like everybody have different opinions about what should or shouldn't happen, how you should or shouldn't deal with something. And just because somebody agreed doesn't make it correct, and just because somebody disagreed doesn't make it wrong, incorrect. So either way, like, it doesn't matter where we fall on that spectrum, what we believe is right or wrong, right? At the end of the day, it's up to us as individuals to decide whether our behavior is in alignment with our truth, whether our behavior is appropriate according to our values and who we are as a being. And so let's talk about, let's read some of these comments, okay? Hold on. Let me go through them. Someone wrote, Just Dave wrote, I mean, sorry. My bad for like coughing in the mic like that. All right. Whoa, that hurt it. That like tingled. Anywho. So someone wrote, I mean, I sort of see where he's coming from, but there are so many better ways to go about it than being a giant man-child. And X Aubrey said, right, eating around the vanilla icing like a child. Ugh. Aubrey, I get it. I get her feelings too, but now I want to know what these people are like in relationships. Like, what are y'all like in relationships? And are y'all letting people give y'all what they want to give y'all, not what y'all asking for? Like, are y'all accepting whatever? Like, is there no standards? Like, what's going on? And I know that might be a stretch, right? Like, now I'm asking them if they got standards, but it's like, I'm curious because I usually feel like if you are accepting certain behaviors, it's because you allow it in your own world. So I wonder, like, in their world, what their relationships are like and what's acceptable or not. So someone else said, imagine asking for a vanilla cake with vanilla frosting, then getting one with layers of chocolate icing. I don't know. I just feel like this helps. Someone else said, if someone baked a cake for me, I would eat it happily and thank them, unless they are bad at baking. Then also I might say nothing. It's the thought and the gesture that counts. If he wanted a particular cake, maybe it was his that time of the month. Yeah, out of control. Okay. Maybe it was his that time of the month. He could have either baked it himself or brought it from the market. And somebody responded to that post by saying, she asked him. She's a baker. He said chocolate. Nothing fancy. He said chocolate on chocolate. Nothing fancy. That's a very particular request. When it comes to food, sometimes you have a taste you want. That's what I was just talking about, the taste buds. Sometimes you have a taste you want. We all understand that. She's completely wrong and petty on his birthday. Let's see what somebody said to him. Oh, someone else said, wait, hold on. Oh, this person responded back. That still does not give you a license to act like a child. If you didn't get exactly what you wanted, that's immature. Then that person wrote back, he ate the parts he wanted. He isn't obligated to eat what he doesn't want just because you made it. You knew what he asked for. You decided to do something different. And then someone else, like a different person, wrote, and if you aren't going to get me what I asked for, don't get me anything. It's really not that hard. Y'all, clearly I found my people. Clearly I found my people, or people that like I would align with, and I'll be like, yeah, I get it. I feel you. Oh, this is funny. Someone else wrote, oh man, this is funny. Someone else wrote, he would have been happy with a store-bought cake. The point here is he asked for a specific cake and she chose to do the extra effort to make a totally different cake. He's allowed to be disappointed that she ignored his request after agreeing to it. Oh, let's finger snap that. He's allowed to be disappointed. someone else, that person came back. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see if we want to read this one. Okay, the other person somebody wrote, again, since he thinks of his now ex-girlfriend as an ordering service like Costco's, what? He is now free to get the real thing and not worry about her. He has every right to be disappointed, though the pouting was a bit much. He has no right to compare her to a commercial transaction. What? Well, she said that she won't do it next year. And he said that he would just go buy his own. And that if they didn't do it correctly, that he would have told them that that's not what he asked for. So he wasn't comparing her to a commercial transaction. He was just saying like, girl, you threatening me about nothing because I can go get my own cake. Stretch. Okay, whatever. So someone wrote, but then what if they asked you what you thought? You lie and say you enjoyed it? That's the issue here. He was simply honest. Laugh out loud. As I said, this is someone else. As I said, it's the gesture and the thought that counts. And in this case, she knew how to bake. So it's even more immature of the boyfriend. Listen, I'm not agreeing with any of these parts, because it's like, this idea that people just need to accept what you give them, that you should be grateful, that it's a gesture. No. That makes no sense. What is the purpose of asking people what they want and then doing what you want to do? Why not just do what you want to do? Why even get them excited or hopeful for this cake? Or why not bake them 2 cakes? No, absolutely not. So someone was like, she asked him what cake he wanted. He communicated it clearly. She then did more work making shit he explicitly didn't want. That's baking because you like to and found an excuse to bake, not because you're doing something for the other person. What did I say earlier? I honestly think that people choices and how they move are self-focused. It's really about them at the end of the day. Like, even if they're doing something for someone else, it's really about them. It's really, and I'm talking about myself too. I think that's humans generally. It's really about them. It's really about them. So, and someone is saying like, and yes, your point would make absolute sense if she didn't ask, what do you want? Like, what do you want? And he was specific. Oh, on my birthday, I would like this. And she went ahead to do something else without at least hinting at him. And someone else said the only underlie here could be his tone when he voiced out, but all in all, he was specific, but she failed in that. Someone else said, well, she offered to do it. She wasn't compelled or begged to do it. Period. Someone else wrote, I'm gagged at these answers. Someone made him a cake. Do you know how lucky he is to have someone who cares enough to make him a delicious treat for a special day? If you want something made exactly to your standards, buy it from a store and bypass all human generosity forever. That's a stretch. I am really wondering what people accept in their lives. I am really wondering what people allow in their worlds. Like, because why is it wrong, or why is it like so far-fetched for somebody to be like, that's not what I asked for, that's not what I want, I'm not pleased. And that got to be a negative thing. It has to be like, oh, you're ungrateful, or oh, then get it from a store. It's like the same thing she did. Well, I won't make you a cake next year. It's like, grow the fuck. Like, but no one is mentioning her reaction. No one is mentioning her reaction to his truth. No one. Like, there's no mention of like her, the part she played in this. Like, it's so interesting. Someone said, so why ask him? And someone else said, so what her gesture, quote unquote, says to me is, quote, this is what I think you should have for your birthday, even though you told me otherwise, because I know better than what you like, quote, unquote. Nothing about this is a nice gesture. And that's how I feel. I feel like this is about her. This is about her. She was trying to show off, trying to do the most, trying to be that good girlfriend, whatever she thought girlfriends do. She was playing in that role. And I think it backfired. And so even though she can break up with this guy, she can let him go and whatever else, it's not going to change unless she check herself. And I'm not saying she's right or wrong, but her getting mad at him for his truth, or her getting mad at him or feeling some sort of way because he wasn't pleased or wasn't excited for something he didn't ask for, that to me is wild. And I wonder if she had a self-check. In. I'm not saying she got to be back with him, but did she learn anything? Did she realize anything about herself? Because this is wild. Like, what? Yeah, somebody's like, what if you told someone what you wanted and they decided to make something else? Someone else said, nah, this isn't the thought that counts. She asked. She then made something entirely different and got mad when she asked for his honest feelings. The thought was, I know better. And if he doesn't like it, I will throw a tantrum and make all of this about me. And that's the issue. And that's it. And that's it. That's what I'm saying. Like, how are we not addressing her reaction at all? Like, there's no mention at the part she's playing in all this. Because now all of a sudden she's a victim in this. Like, he's the problem. How? I can see how if we were to say both of them played a part in it. That's just relationships anyway. We all playing a part in whatever the chaos is. It takes two to tango. But we're not going to address her. So she's good to go because she made a cake that no one wanted, but that she asked you specifically what you wanted. Like, and I guess, like, there was no mention that she said that she would make the cake. She just said she was gonna bake a cake. You told her what kind. Wait, let me check first before I go ahead and say that. She offered to bake me a cake. I told her that I would prefer a chocolate cake. Yeah, it doesn't say here that she said she was making a chocolate cake. So I guess that we could also highlight that, right? He probably assumed she was making a chocolate cake because he told her what he preferred. But she did offer to bake him a cake. And I would hope that she wasn't offering to bake him whatever cake she was willing to make. So I hope, yeah. Again, right? You know, there's limited character, so you can only give so much detail. But I think he gave the important parts. And from the important parts that we got, I said what I said. And the people said what they said. And ultimately, the same way I'm like, oh, he did what was correct for him. There are 100 others, right? We read a couple that think there's a ton of other people that think he's the worst. And with that, he has to be his own moral compass and decision maker of what is correct for his behavior, because we each may see this differently. I believe in honoring our values and standing in them, because I don't see this as being an asshole. I do not see this as being an asshole. But it's not me in the situation. And so with each person, you may get a different response. You have to decide what's okay with you and what's not. Oh my God, right? So I remember dating in my early 20s. When I was with my girlfriend, she felt like I was bossy. I remember her saying, like, I'm bossy, da da da. I was always like a very assertive person. I knew what I wanted. I was very like a go-getter. I don't know if I was serious, but maybe I came off as serious, like I had to get things done. But I grew up different, right? I grew up very independent. So I knew that if I wanted to get out of my circumstances, I had to do things. Despite all the playing around, the drinking, all the fun stuff I was doing, I was about my business. And so she used to say that I was bossy. So when I got in my next relationship, I tried to like tone down that bossiness. I tried to like be more mindful of it, tone it down. But then the partner that I was with wanted that side of me. Like, they wanted that energy. And because I remember telling them, like, yo, my ex, like, used to say I was bossy. So I was trying to, like, you know, like, try something different. But their energy needed my balance. Needed that assertiveness. Needed that go-getter energy. Because it harmonized us, right? It made we balanced well together when we were in our natural energy. And so I just remember thinking like, damn, right? Because I'm young, right? And I'm having this realization, because you just don't know what people need. What may be wrong or too much for one person is what another person would love to have an experience with you with. So you really have to, so that's why I think it's so important for you to decide for yourself and choose a situation or the partners that's aligned for you. It's easy to get in these relationships. It's easy to get in situations and become who your partner wants, or who they think they want, or who they believe they need in that moment, right? For you to try to fill up that shoe, for you to become who you think they approve of. But what if you're just not it, right? Like, what if you're just not the person for them? I believe that we can only sustain a mass version of ourselves for so long. I believe that you eventually like burn out. You get exhausted when you're trying to be this person, trying to contort yourself into this version or this idea or this perspective that someone holds for you when it's not your truth. That eventually you'll burn out, or eventually the situation will blow up. It's only going to go but so far, and that's just like a belief I have about, like, it's just not sustainable. Yeah, it's just, I just don't think it's sustainable when you're not being in your truth. And so I do think it's really important for us to be honest with ourselves, right? Like, when someone, I love the idea of someone being straight up like, this is what I'm looking for in a partner. And then they meet somebody and that person doesn't live up to those standards, and for them to be okay with walking away without them feeling like you're bad or you're a horrible person. Like, no, you're just not the person I'm looking to build with. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why dating is so beautiful, because you get to figure out if this person is the one, and you get to learn about what you're looking for in a partner, or what you are willing to accept. What are you willing to compromise on? Like, there's so much you learn about yourself in the dating phase, and you learn about your partner to figure out whether or not that they are the ones for you. Last year I got to date, and it was just so fun. I had such a good time, and I learned so much about myself, and I saw so many, I realized why so many relationships didn't work, and I was just so grateful that even though some of them was questionable on how they ended, like, I was so happy they were over, because I realized that you can't sustain, you can't keep trying to change yourself to fit this idea of what a person wants. You may, and try to change every time they critique you. You just may not be the person for them, and that's okay. So yeah, I think that's so interesting. But anywho, friends, family, all the things. What are your thoughts? We've been talking about this topic for a bit too. Woo! But anyway, what are your thoughts? I hope that this entertained y'all though. So what are your thoughts? Do you think he's an asshole? How do you think you would feel if you were on the other end of him eating around a cake that you baked? How would you feel about him eating around a cake you baked under these circumstances? Have you had a situation like this? I want to know. I'm personally, that's not my ministry, right? Like, I am not asking what you want and then doing something else. That's just not the way I roll, because as I told y'all before, I just think that that's not helpful for anyone. And this is probably why I ask people for their options. I always ask for, like, if I'm gonna do something for you, I ask for several options so I can choose which one of them I'm willing to do. Right? I ain't doing all of them, but what am I willing to do? It's like, so I'm very clear about the expectations people can have from me, because, you know, we're human. I get it. It's messy business, but I try to be as transparent as possible and try to, like, if I'm aware of, like, how somebody move, like, I try to, like, get ahead of it, and probably part of my trauma response. But either way, okay, it works for me, and I still journey with it, and it helps my relationships too. So yeah, let me know what you think, and let's go to the next topic. Okay, bam. So this next topic, this one is again from Twitter. This is from Twitter. I know, well, X, right? It's X, formerly known as Twitter. Either way, y'all know where I'm talking about. This is from X, and this is from the handle @DailyLoud. And so it is a video. So we're gonna watch the video. For those who are on audio, you will hear it. I will come back and say what I got to say, and just give y'all a little bit more info. But let's go.
Drug dealers and scammers will never harm my son. They be right there with me. Shooters right there with me. See, 500 shots in VIP. When I'm told the waitress, don't drink liquor, I drink lean. I'm that.
Okay, friends and family. So, for those who are on the audio version of the podcast, what you have just listened to is the reaction and response of this young man walking down the aisle at his wedding to a Future song. I am not a listener of Future, so I don't really understand the hype. The beat is cute though, because I was dancing too. But yeah, so basically he was walking down the aisle to the song. The groom was walking down the aisle to the song, blasting Future. He did a little dance. That's what you hear. People's like, hey, because you know he was sauced up. He was sauced up. So yeah, that's what happened. Now I want to say this about it before we head on into the comments, because we go into the comments. The song didn't really grab my attention. I didn't care one way or another. This ain't my wedding. I don't care one way or another what you do. I don't really know how I feel about weddings. So what y'all do is what y'all do. If y'all want to two-step down a wedding, if y'all want to do a little dance down, I don't know if that's appropriate or not. That's between y'all and y'all cultures, y'all beliefs. By all means, do you. But what I will say is what did get my attention is his energy. If you are not watching the YouTube version and you have time and space to watch this video, if you are interested in this commentary, I really do want to encourage you to watch the video. As I said already, you can go to the show notes and get the link. But what did get my attention is his energy. I did not see the bride, so I have no idea what she looks like or what her energy, and it's not about looks. What I'm getting at is like, so when I read energy, I read the body language and everything else. That is part of how I can interpret energy. And so what I'm saying is I'm capturing his energy. But because I did not see her, I don't know how their energy interact together. The thing about energy and the thing about people is that when people come together, they create a new energy field. And they interact together. Now, his energy may show up one way when he's just him. But when he's around her, the energy might look different to me or come off different or feel different because of what they bring to each other. And so, yeah, I'm going to just say that. My thing is more so his energy. And so I'm going to go to the comments and let's read some of these comments. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to say what I got to say. So... I just read a couple real quick. Hold on. Let me get comfortable. Okay. So someone said, what a guy. Exclamation. Tacky. Someone else said, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Someone said, changing times with the laughing emoji. Someone said his wife may belong to the streets with the shrug emoji. Someone else said he the GOAT for that. Mind you, the person who said that, their name is Heartbreak Kid. Okay? Just gonna put that out there. Someone else said, that's how I'm walking out at my wedding. I hear that. Someone else said, it looks like his first wedding. Yo, what? Hold on. Let's look at some more. Someone said, bro got moves. Someone wrote, he thought we was gonna act like this. I don't know what that got to do with anything. Someone else said, marriage doomed from the start. with the laughing emoji. Someone else said, let your bride shine, bro. Step aside and support. Someone wrote, I mean, it's also his day. Yo, someone wrote how he's feeling listening to that and basically got a gif of a clown. Someone else wrote, she about to be single after 3 months. Yo, some people wrote, put in the fire. Some people put yo, goat, the goat emoji. Someone said, that's my kind of man. Someone said, ew. That's what they said. They said, ew. Someone else wrote, this is becoming a trend. Listen, I feel like that's going to be the next episode topics about societal beliefs and, like how we basically agree that something is acceptable and it becomes a norm. But yeah. So basically someone said, this is becoming a trend. This is becoming a trend now. Someone else said he did that. Someone said marriage madness. And basically they got a future gif. That's funny, actually. Someone said, where's the bride? And then they wrote, bro said, it's my time to shine. Laugh my ass off. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, not that I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I apologize. Y'all, I hope y'all just staying with me because y'all not looking at this, but y'all hearing me. And I hope that y'all getting the energy because it's like, I'm sure it's not the same as like y'all actually scrolling through and laughing. Yeah. Someone wrote, ruined it. Someone wrote, when that little relationship didn't work out, and basically there's a cake that says welcome back to the streets and it have like alcohol bottles on it. Someone wrote very strange. Someone wrote very cultured. Someone wrote I fuck with it. Someone wrote base groom. Someone else wrote absolutely the F not. His wife is a strong woman because I could not. Someone wrote, what a simp for real. Future. Someone wrote, mature marriage. Someone wrote, should have blasted some yay. Someone wrote, she belongs to the street. Someone wrote, she's so cringe. Someone else wrote, why aren't we all doing weddings like this? Someone else wrote, walking the aisle while blasting Future is so ironic. Laughing emoji. Someone wrote, imagine a first dance. Someone else wrote, his wife should leave him for Future so fast. And someone else wrote, she should. Someone wrote, interesting. Joyful human being. He definitely was going wild at the bachelor party too. Someone wrote, why is he acting like it's his day? Is it not? Yeah. Someone wrote, I would have divorced. Well, apparently they ain't even down the aisle yet, so I mean, it don't have to happen. I mean, even though I know people can be married before the actual wedding ceremony, but you know what I mean. Someone wrote, already know she's for the streets. Someone wrote, ain't no way. Okay, so basically we get the point. There's some highs, there's some lows. People got opinions. Yeah, we know how that goes. So it's my go. It's my turn. But yeah. So, yo, I truly love the comment section because people are talking their shit, okay? But here are my thoughts. I don't know these people and I ain't marrying this man, so I don't really have I don't have a skin in the game at all, right? But I do enjoy being curious and I do enjoy checking out people's energy. So I will say thank you for taking him off the market. I think that I'm happy for him. I'm really happy. He seemed happy. He seemed really excited for what was going on. So I'm always here to see joy. But again, I don't know the energy of his wife. So I'm gonna imagine they are truly perfect together. And I love that idea for them. But what does have my attention, like I said earlier, is the energy that he expresses. It feels immature. It feels disrespectful, selfish in an ego sense, because I do believe in wise selfishness, but it felt like ego selfishness. Like, I haven't checked the subconscious parts of myself, and I'm just out here, okay, just not. Felt self-centered. This is the energy I'm talking about. And that he was not taking the moment seriously. So I don't know how much he actually respects the idea of marriage. And in the terms of, like, it's a death do us part, right? I am, like, you know, this is a partnership, whatever the idea, whatever that traditional belief of marriage is, right? Like, I just don't see his energy there in that energy of a traditional, and not just, I mean, and I'm not saying like his marriage has to be traditional, but what I'm saying is that the purpose of marriage, I just don't see his energy honoring or respecting that. And maybe he got married and that's not, because that's just because I do believe that people cultivate their own relationships. So I don't think that anybody's relationships has to measure up to what us as individuals on the outside believe it should be. I don't believe in that. That's why I feel like people need to have their own moral barometer, because fuck what I'm saying. Even right now, F me. Like, that ain't my relationship. I ain't got to live with not one consequence that y'all making, okay? Like, yeah, on a collective level, sure, I'm being impacted. But honestly, do y'all. Like, that's y'all really, y'all got to live with that. So, at the end of the day, I'm just talking shit. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. I don't affect that. But go ahead. I would have loved to see how he reacted when the bride walked down the aisle, because I feel like that would have told me a lot about their relationship together. But that initial energy that he walked out with, first of all, checking his watch, like, it just felt like very grow up. Like, it felt very immature. And very like, yikes. And on the other hand, like I said, it may be a balance to their relationship, because I do know people who boyfriend is just like very childlike, but like they're the very serious and mature one. But it works, especially when they have children. It's like a great balance to have that in the house. But also that other adult ends up taking on a lot of responsibility because the other person is immature and like things like that. So who knows? I don't know. I don't know these people. I didn't go look for him. I didn't look up their name. I have no idea besides that little video I saw. And it was like less than a minute. So, yeah, I'm not someone who is traditional generally. I do believe that people should celebrate their love in whatever way or however they see fit. So if this is a reflection of their union, then so be it, you know? I would have been like, if this was my friends, I would have been like, why are you inviting me to this? Like, seriously, why are you inviting me to this? But my friends know that when it comes to their relationships, I mind my business. I read energy or basically I interpret the energy of people, of couples and all that. And once I know what I know, I don't really engage. I don't entertain. I don't ask about it. I don't ask about people's relationships, nothing like that. I try to give energy to what I want to amplify. And if people don't pass the vibe, they don't pass the vibe. Like, I'm not gonna ask questions about it, nothing like that. And it's not a personal attack on my friends or anything like that, because I do believe that people come into our lives for a reason. And maybe that's why I mind my business, because like, just because I feel I can sense the energy and I know, and I feel like I know what's going on, and I'm like, oh, this is temporary or whatever else. First, everything in this world is temporary. So there's that. Like, me saying something is temporary. Some people temporary has lasted 20 years. So, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I also don't take myself so serious. But at the same time, I'm not amplifying something I don't agree with, or I don't align with, or I don't see, like, it's not happening. So I'm on my business. I'm gonna let spirit do what they do. But I was mainly curious to see like maybe what him and the bride would look like when they're in the same energy together, how that would express. So I don't know, but what are your thoughts? You know, are you married? Did you and your partner do something unique at your wedding that people would have been gagged about? Like, you know, what is it for you? Like, how do you see? And if you've seen this video, what are your thoughts about it? And if you're somebody too who like are really into energy, like what are you picking up on? Right? I'm not trying to get to this person's character. I don't know if I did, but like this is just my observation. My observation is that the energy is very immature. But, you know, it is what it is, right? It doesn't mean anything. Oh, well. That's just my thoughts. And as a reminder, right, the link to the video will be on the show notes page on the website. So I came across this post.com. And the actual video will be shown in the YouTube version. So, you know, sometimes y'all should just go on over to YouTube, watch the things, get everything you need, leave your comments there, start a conversation, and let us do what we do. Let's party, people. But from my point of view, this one is like, yeah, maybe it's a sign that he's not ready to get married, or maybe it's just a reflection of their union, and they like that. I like that. I don't really give. I was just the only one who liked that. I'm definitely offbeat. Either way, I pray that they have a love-filled life. So, fuck it. Listen, I'm always down for an experience. So, whatever happens, may they be well. Okay, moving along, people. So, the next piece of content we're going to talk about right now is another X, formerly known as Twitter, post. This one is a screenshot type post. And it's a screenshot of a text message conversation. It's really short. It's by Drexla. Drexla is the @ name. So let's go ahead and pull that baby up. So the title of this is, oh, actually, they changed the @ name. I think it's ihyric. ihyric. So basically, the title of it could be us, but this is the actual text. So it say, "I miss you, wanna kiss you," and then the response is, "I wanna fuck you," and then the other person responds, "Why are you so horny?" And then the person responds back, "I don't know." But they wrote IDK. So, "I don't know. I wasn't loved as a child." I thought, when I first heard this, I thought it was like the cutest thing. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. And I also realized for me that it would have depended on who said it to me, that would have depended on my reaction, right? So this person's like, "I miss you, I want to kiss you," and the other person's like, "I want to F you." And they're like, "Why are you so horny?" With the sad kind of face, not like the down face. And then they're like, "I don't know, I wasn't loved as a child." Like, I don't know, I need intimacy, okay? And so I basically felt like, first of all, it was funny to me because I was like, I'm here for it. I feel that. You know, I don't know. I wasn't loved as a child. Shit. But I was like, when I read it, I was like, yo, if this was like a Sagittarius sun and a masculine energy, yes, please sign me up. Now, if this was a femme Gemini, like from a sun femme Gemini energy, especially in my 20s, oh, it would have been such a turn on. Oh, it would have been such a turn on. Because for me, it's like vulnerable, it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's unexpected, it's like a random ass response. It's definitely the I wasn't loved as a child. That would have made me cackle. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh, you're so cute. I just thought it was so lighthearted. I don't know. I appreciated it. And in my late 20s, in my late teens to early 20s, like, my life was definitely, I was living like I was in a novella. My life was a novella. And so, yeah, I would have ate this up for sure. For sure. But also, if someone said it now, I would be caught off guard. But like, I think I also would have been like, oh, because it would have been like, I would have felt like they're touching deeper. You know, they're being vulnerable, and it's sometimes that's just it. It really is just it. I wasn't loved as a child. And it felt playful. It really did feel playful when I first read it. And even if that is the truth, right? Like that they weren't loved as a child, shit. I mean, we all got some things to work through. So who am I to say like anything? Like I get it. That's how I felt. I felt like I just got it. And like I can really be with the shit sometime. And so I really appreciated this message. And I thought it was like lighthearted. And I thought it went really with the flow of like this episode's topic, and it was just like cute. It was just, I don't know. And again, I think it really does depend on like what the person's energy is that would have sent this, and for how I would have reacted. Clearly, when it comes to other people, like I said earlier, like everybody cultivates their own relationship. So what's acceptable to you may not be acceptable to me. What's acceptable to me might not be acceptable to you. So for me, it's like, let the messages do what the message is going to do. So let's read some of the comments really quick. I know that we've been here a while though, so let me. Someone wrote, a quick trauma dump doesn't hurt, I guess. Someone responded, brings you closer. And it got pretty decent likes. Someone else wrote, I wasn't loved as a child, in quotes, and like put a whole bunch of smiley faces. And someone responded, at least bro is honest. And someone wrote, hilariously honest. And someone else wrote, I want to be this level of unhinged with him. And someone wrote, typical me. And another message was, any girl tells me she, quote, wasn't loved as a child, quote, unquote, joke or not, you're never hearing from me again. Let's see what people said to that one. Oh, someone wrote, you don't deserve her anyway. He was like, yeah. Someone else wrote, you could be there for her and help her recover like I'm doing with my girl. And the person wrote back, how much love can I give a woman that wasn't loved as a child? There's levels to this. All right, let me tell y'all, when I was in the comments earlier, like it wasn't this deep. Like people were just like very like lighthearted about it. Someone wrote, a glass of wine fixes most problems. He's like, not this problem. She has to love herself first. Otherwise, my love can never be enough. I hear that. See, like he's not with the shits. He's in a season of his life where he's like, absolutely not. I don't care if you're joking. I don't want to know nothing about your trauma. I ain't trying to help you with your trauma. Like I ain't up for it because you're gonna need too much, and I'm not even trying to solve something that only you can solve. Okay? I'm not. He said he ain't taking on that responsibility. I hear that. Someone wrote the honesty and wrote the, you know, the greater than. Simple. For people that's on YouTube, y'all see me. Y'all see the symbol. Got it. Okay, cool. Someone wrote, she needs love. Someone else wrote, laugh my fucking ass off because why am I going through this exact situation? Someone said us and added somebody. I hear that. Talk your shit. Someone wrote to me, TBH, to be honest. Let's see. Someone wrote, could be us. Someone wrote, I can probably help you with that, with what you didn't get as a child. I have balloons and cotton candy. Yo, y'all are not well. I have balloons and cotton candy, like every movie with the plot twist no one wants to see in it. Balloons and cotton candy. Get off. Okay. Someone wrote, could be us, but you can't even talk properly. Someone else responded to that. English is hard these days. Yo, me and my friends be talking about that. Like, I swear, energy is my first language. This whole, I cannot wait till we could either telepath, conversate, or we can just conversate in energy and everybody can interpret well and channel well, because I keep saying because it's just gonna be easier for me. This is about me and my needs. I get it. But yeah. So I just thought that was so cute. I thought it was funny. I thought the comments were cute. Like, there were people who just resonated with it. There was people who were just like, could be us. There was just people who, like, yes, we ended up in a we ended up in a thread that was like a little serious about the situation. I get it. He's in a different place in his life. We here for that. We support it. We get it. You know, people need to be on a healing journey and do their own thing. Like, we ain't trying to say, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Yeah, we get it. So no judgment here. But I thought the comments were cute. They passed the vibe check for me. I was happy that so many people resonated with it, because I got a cackle at it. I thought it was just so adorable. It was just so random. It was just a nice little cute little laugh. I didn't feel like nobody was harmed. Nobody was harmed within that situation. Now, whether or not some trauma has happened, because maybe somebody... All right, I'm not going to speculate, because that's not what happened in the message, right? Like, it was just fun and chill, so let's stay there. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. I cackled, I laughed, so I would love to know, like, what your thoughts of it are. What do you think? Is it something to joke about? Do you think, like, you wouldn't even take it serious? Like, do you think that you would have a hard reaction to it? Or do you think you would be like, it's just hilariously honest? Or, like, you know, what would be your response to that? If somebody was to message something like that, I know clearly all of us can say what we would do until we actually in a situation, because like I said, the energy matters. Who is coming from matters. It's not just that in of itself. A lot of other things, context matters, circumstances matter. So yes. But if you had messages like that, you know, what are your thoughts? How do you be responding to stuff like that? You know, when people tell you about their trauma by just throwing it in a random ass comment. I just think it's so cute. Anywho, please feel free to share it on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. I feel like TikTok is not really a place where we're gonna have those kind of conversations, but we'll see, you know? Just so you all know, these first 3 episodes of the season are part of our launch day. So if you listen to episode 1, if you listen to episode 2, if you listen to this episode, please know that these episodes are recorded before the podcast officially launches. So my hope and intention was to give y'all a little taste of the different ways in which I might be utilizing and providing commentary on the internet content that, like, makes me curious or catches my eye or have me like, what? You gotta be kidding me. Whatever. So, remember, I am not everywhere on the internet. I don't get every timeline. And most of the stuff that I'm posting, that I have posted about, was for my For You page. It's not from the people I follow. It's actually for my For You page on Twitter. So please feel free to send some stuff from your timeline over to me if you want to hear my response or my reaction to it. Please feel free to send over stuff. So, like, you know, we can share all types of stuff. I don't get every timeline. So help your sis out. Help your family out. Help your soul friend out. Help me out. Help us out. Help the family out. And so, yeah. So these first 3 episodes are part of the launch day. And my intentions was to try to have different energies and different themes so that you all can get a little feel of, like, what I'm envisioning for now, right? And like, I really do believe that with time things are going to change and grow and all these things, but generally this is called So I Came Across This Post, and this is what it's about. It's about content from the internet that I'm turning into whole think pieces or commentary or whatever it is that I'm inspired to say. But the whole point is that I came across this post and I want to say something about this post. And so, yeah, I really, 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 really hope you enjoyed it. I am really thankful that you are tuned in. I'm grateful for you hanging out with me. I apologize right now because I realize that I'm getting tired and so my energy is going down. But nonetheless, yes, this is going to be the episode that starts the launch of our season 1 for So I Came Across This Post, the podcast. And I'm excited for the season. And I'm grateful that I got to get some episodes prepared for you all, to get a taste of what's to come, to get some idea of what my vision is. I feel like this is pretty close to it. As I was planning and prepared for it, more things came to me that helped me get it clearer, like, oh, theme it, right? So maybe there won't always be 3 pieces of content, because maybe 3 is too long. So maybe it's just going to be one post, right? Like, so I came across this post and it's just one post. So, you know, I'm testing things out. And so I will probably try one post next. I know I'm saying this out loud to you all, but maybe eventually I'll just try one post and see how that feels and see how long that is, because I didn't want these episodes to be really long. So I'm gonna try it, and then, like, you know, please feel free to give me feedback and let me know what you think about it. But I really did want to get some stuff out to y'all so y'all can get a taste of like what my vision is, and we can get some feedback and make some adjustments as we go. I will say, as I'm recording, I'm learning things about myself, and I'm learning what works. So this is like beautiful and exciting, and I'm hype. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. So let's keep talking. Let's keep these conversations going. I am looking forward to your feedback. So please do share your feedback about what you think so far about the podcast. If you have whatever feedback, I don't want to put anything in your head. So whatever thoughts you have, send them in. If you listen, send them in. I may agree to try them out. I may not. It's just gonna be whatever aligns for me. But I'm definitely open to feedback, and I'm definitely open to people ideas, because you'll hear in another podcast, I'm very much into human design, and I have a split definition, and so I collaborate really, really well with people. So yes, let me know what you think. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, of course, and consider following us on YouTube as well, as this is also a video podcast offering, and I really, really love that. Please rate the podcast. Let us know your thoughts. Help the people learn about the fact that we do exist. And when you are leaving feedback, when you are rating, when you're leaving comments, leaving comments, leaving feedback, when you're sharing it with your friends, when you're subscribing, you are allowing it to get more exposure. So I really do want to encourage that, especially in our early stages. So please feel free to do that. Yeah. And as I want to continue all of these conversations, I will post some questions on our social media platform. So come through, meet me on the internet. Let's hang out on TikTok, IG, and Twitter. We are at the handle @NownCharlie, and that's Charlie with 2 eyes. Moving forward, you can expect a new episode to be released every Sunday. And remember, we cite our sources. So any content I mention here, any newsletters I mention, all the things, all the links will be on our show notes page on our website at soicameacrossthispost.com under the episodes tab. So please, if you are looking for the resources, if you are looking for what we talked about, if you did not get to see the video because you was listening to the audio and you just want to go and see the video, that video will be on our website. You know what? How about you bookmark it? Bookmark it. Bookmark it. Bookmark the episodes page. Bookmark the episodes page. Why not? That way you just go there. After you listen to an episode, while you're listening to an episode, you just go there. Boom. Look at it. The messages are just coming through. Oh yeah, so new episodes every Sunday, and this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, and I am looking forward to seeing how we grow, how we pivot, and where we take this vision. So, and with that, I want to thank you for tuning in, for watching the episode. I am absolutely grateful. I am so excited. My heart is full, and I really do hope that you enjoy this and that we continue to connect and grow and vibe and journey together. I appreciate you so much. And I want to encourage you to keep embracing and living your truth. Until next time, please know that I love you the most. And I'm out. Take care of yourself. Let it rain. Let it rain.